Welcome back to The Real Grind, guys. This is where we talk real estate while we sip on a great cup of coffee. You know, today the guest is here and we're super excited to share his story so you can learn how he started as well. But hold on, I'm not gonna spoil you, but Ito, as is his morning, as always, man, you know, that's when you wake up to the smell of coffee, when you hear that little
it's like a
grind of
cartoon
the
for me,
beans.
man. I just come out of my room like floating, just smelling that. Amazing.
What you got going on today over there, man?
Actually, we got something a little different than the usual, from a different region. But I'll leave that for the coffee time.
Guess what? We have to talk about multifamily.
Multifamily, as always.
There you go. Let's get the show started. This is The Real Grind.
Waking up to success, now we're getting it started. This is the real grind. Everything you've been wanting, building an empire, no question. Talking about real estate, investing, making the millions, no stopping. While we sip on, go and make coffee. The real grind, this is the real grind. Let's go.
This is The Real Grind. And today I got the super special guest. He's known as the Apartment Ninja Warrior. He's COO of Anthem Capital, a portfolio with 3,500 units. Retired kick-ass Air Force. Welcome to the stage, Iven Vian. Let's go. Hey, my brother. Let's go, dude.
Let's do
Just
it.
sit a little closer, man. I feel so
closer.
far.
All right,
There you
all
go.
right.
There you go. What's going on?
Doing good, brother. Doing good. Happy to be
Dude,
here.
I know that you're in Oklahoma City, man, and the schedule's been tough for you to come down here to Dallas. That's one of the things about the show, man. I mean, you know, after the pandemic, a lot of those podcasts and stuff became virtual with Zoom. It became an annoying thing. But look, it's not that I refuse to do Zoom calls, but I like that in person, dude. It's just that energy, you know what I mean?
Man, just love to be here with you, your team. Amazing set. I'm excited.
That's awesome. And Ivan's been part of our fire table, guys, which you check out that episode. And the fire table is not as structured this one, but it's just like, man, a lot of things coming out of that one. And today's episode, Ivan, we're going to get to know a little bit about you. You know, your beginnings, where you're from, and what got you here, and business-wise and stuff. But I want to begin where you from, and we'll talk a little bit about your beginnings, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in Oregon, believe it or not.
All right.
And I don't know if you know where that's at.
Yes, I have an idea.
Below Washington, above California.
Yeah.
Anyhow, born and raised in Oregon, man. My first taste of being in business, honestly, is watching my mom own a grocery store called the Neighborhood Market in a little town called Kaiser, Oregon. And she would make me mop the floors, count the cans, count inventory. But just watching her, how she did it on a day in, day out basis really taught me a lot that I didn't realize at the time because I hated mopping the floors.
I know,
hated,
right?
Counting the cans and taking out the trash. But it really taught me a lot how to not only handle the back end, but handle the front end and working with customers and working through problems and challenges.
It's awesome, man. So came from entrepreneur family, you know, and it's funny because that's the aspect that you sought out of it, you know, like because I've seeing your mom being so, you know, with building that community, and as you mentioned in all the stories, but like talk a little bit about that aspect of making the community there, and that she was.
My mom just had a way of connecting with everyone that came through that store and making them feel important and special. And I don't think she knew what she was doing because that's just who she is.
That's awesome.
Like she's
man.
a natural caregiver, you know, that shows up in the form of worry and concern. That's a good mom, right?
And
right.
And how old are you?
45.
No, how old were you then?
Oh, shoot, wait. I'm like, okay.
Well, we just spilled the beans here. We thought a little bit earlier.
How old was I at the time, right? Yeah, no, like I think 12 or something, right? Yeah. So all through middle school and high school, I kind of saw my mom. But, you know, even before that, it was a dream and vision for her to own her own business.
Yeah.
And my mom came from no education, like no college degree, no high school degree. She had to leave school early. She came to America, made something of herself, got a job, worked hard, and then started her own business when she was in her 40s.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. And then from there, what happened? You didn't want to, you know, continue on the family business? You want to do something else?
Yeah, so that bug was already planted in me, but I had another dream at the time is that even way younger than that, I wanted to be a pilot in the Air Force.
That's good.
You know?
That's awesome.
My dad took me to an air show when I was a little kid, and I just saw these planes flying around. I just looked at that. I was like, I'm going to do that. And just kind of set my eyes on that. And honestly, though, like, didn't have a lot of money. My family, my dad, that's a totally different story. My mom did the best she could, but a little grocery store still doesn't like, make you a millionaire or anything like that, So, but I just had my dream on being a pilot in the Air Force and just really worked hard towards that goal until I got it.
That's cool. And so what was the career in the military, man? Or just what kind of planes are used to flight, and what was the...
I always wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be a fighter pilot, but ended up getting a bomber jet at a pilot training, a B-1 bomber. Ended up being the best thing that happened to me. I'm glad I didn't get the fighter jet. It would have been a totally different career experience. The B-1 bomber was an incredible experience. I worked with so many incredible people that gave me and taught me so much, and involved in many, many, many experiences in an operational environment my entire 20-year career. I deployed overseas multiple times, multiple combat missions, and been in a lot of interesting scenarios and situations, but I'm forever grateful for my experience. I mean, there's a lot of downside to anything, right?
Sure,
but looking back, it gave me so much more.
And I know being on the military, and I always say this: military just give a lot of discipline to people, man. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of people that come out of military, not everyone, but a lot of them that has a lot of the discipline that applied it in business. Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man. How long did you serve?
20 years.
20 years.
20 years. Yeah.
So on the plane, you are one of the pilots, but the plane for bomber is like, it's a lot of people. How many crews?
Yeah, there's 4 of us in the plane, 2 pilots and 2 are called system operators in the back, a navigator and defensive person. We all work together as a crew concept plane, which taught me a lot about how to work with teams and in a bigger team, a bigger operation, one airplane amongst a big operation with multiple people in the air and on the ground kind of scenario. But it was a bomber jet, and did a lot of cool things. I don't know how much more you want to say. But.
No, but I do know a lot. I never talked to you about this subject, man. But it's like, so your team that goes on the planes, is that the team that always stays with you, or do you guys switch people around, or you guys have this team? This is my team, and
so like peacetime, you train with multiple people,
right?
And think about that. Training with multiple people, you learn multiple personalities,
Absolutely.
How to work with different types of people. And some more challenging to work with than others, right? And you learn how to kind of get through those situations, work with those people in those kind of situations. But when you deploy overseas, it usually team you up with like one hard crew, they call it.
Yeah.
So you really get to know each other, and you almost start to know what the other person's thinking, because you get to know them so much, But it's like
they are like always one step ahead, you know, when you work with somebody.
But like, it's cool though, because you develop this camaraderie, which I really miss a lot, and it's funny because you'd be flying around in these airplanes 24,000 feet, and everyone has probably image of the military people as very disciplined and structured, which we are, but we also like to have a lot of fun. So
work hard.
Like a lot of times we're telling just crazy stories, flying around in the sky and like coming up with crazy scenarios, like, like what would you do for $1 million kind of things, or like tell me the craziest thing that ever happened to you. So imagine flying around and just kind of killing time, waiting for something to happen,
and, exactly.
And then eventually, when you get called over to handle a situation, and that's when it's like, all right, time to put the stories away, throw up the mask, and go take care of business.
That's awesome, dude. And well, I would love to keep talking about that, man, but I want to talk a little bit about business. But first, guess what time it is, my man?
Oh my gosh, is it coffee time?
It's coffee time. Let's go.
Yes, let's do it.
What up, dog? Come on.
We did it backwards. Ivan, how's it going, man?
Yeah, man.
Good to see you. Good to have you at the show.
Yeah.
And dude, it's so fascinating to me whenever I hear military stories, because us with like a Brazilian background, our army is not that frightening per se, but everything we see is on TV, is on the movies, right? Mm-hmm. So whenever we get to hear real stories from people like you, we're like, oh my God, I can actually visualize everything. So it's super intriguing for me. And I have a lot of military friends. So first of all, thanks for your service.
Thank you.
And a lot of my friends are from the military here in the US, and just hearing the stories, hear what you guys go through, very thankful for what you guys do. And I see exactly what Leander said. Like you guys take everything from there and you apply in your life and your business. You guys are sharp, man. Yeah, you guys are sharp. It's super cool.
Yeah, man.
But
One
Thank you,
funny,
brother.
interesting with Ivan, because when we were partnering on one of our deals and together, and it was right when the movie came out, the Maverick.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
Tom.
every time he got in the car,
Yeah.
he used to put the song in there. Well. So there we
that's
go, bro.
awesome. That's awesome. So Ivan, I was talking to you earlier, and Ivan had the same issue that I had before, which he stopped drinking coffee, you said, right? Because of the flavor and all that stuff, yelling your teeth and all that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and kind of jacking up my thyroid and crazy stuff like
Absolutely,
that. Yeah.
absolutely. And that's what I was telling him. Like, good coffee is gonna give you nothing but healthy benefits, right?
Okay,
So
cool.
I definitely want you to give this a shot.
Nice little cup you got there.
I know.
We got to put the
So
pinky
cute.
up, man.
Yeah. So
Cute.
I'm gonna tell you exactly how to. Just give it a second, and we're gonna try it out together.
Thank
And
you.
so what we're gonna do with this is kind of like wine. Give it a
Okay.
good smell.
All right.
And then you're gonna slurp and like when you're drinking like good wine, and let it sit on your
Okay.
mouth a little bit.
Gotta make that noise.
Oh, absolutely. Otherwise, it doesn't count.
That's good
Taking this
stuff.
home with me.
There you go. I love it.
And
Isn't
what-
it different though?
Dude, it's delicious, man.
Isn't it different than
It's like a
Delicious.
tea, dude. And that's the thing. When you start drinking coffee like this, it's like you flying first class for the first time. You know what I mean?
I
Like
feel
you.
like I'm flying first class in my B1 bomber right now, man. Where was this?
Yeah.
I needed this in my plane, bro.
Yeah, dude.
This is amazing.
Dude, it's just like it's a different. It shouldn't call it not even coffee anymore. It should make something else because
Isn't
it's
that what I just
totally
told you
different.
earlier?
Dude, man.
Totally different
I
than
totally amazing.
stuff.
treated it as a complete different beverage because I think it's a crime to call coffee what they call coffee. Like
Yeah.
this is coffee.
Yeah, we're desensitized by all the name brands out there.
Yeah,
right?
know it.
yeah.
I know it.
Bringing some good stuff to the market here. So
Absolutely. But this one in here, it's called. It's funny, man. I'll let you try to read this.
yeah, it looks like a Korean word.
I don't know.
Go goo goo.
Go.
Reminds me of
Wate go go go.
Korean bagogi or something.
Yeah, but
Go-
that's
go-
one of my favorite
Yeah,
stuff right
go
there,
go.
man. I was talking about that yesterday. But it's from Ethiopia. So this is the first coffee from Ethiopia that we have in here.
I know this. That's what I was saying earlier. Like I was, that's cool because you know we be in a lot of like South America. We even try a
Yeah.
Hawaiian
Hawaii.
coffee, but that's the first time
Got
we
some
had to meet you.
competition.
Oh yeah.
Got some
Yeah.
competition against Brazil
Hey,
coffee. here, huh?
hey, does that know the so we should do a podcast
Sensitive
just for that shit.
subject.
You know?
That's it. We ain't bringing Ethiopian on the show ever again.
Right?
yeah. So if you had to score this, Ivan, what would you say from
Score
to 10?
1 to 10.
Yeah.
Brother, man. Like, what if you had Colombian or Brazilian up here? Then
It's
okay, I'll give it a 7.
Give it a 7.
Give it a 7.
Okay.
1 out of 10 because you got to save those last 3 for the
Yeah.
Brazilian
I
coffee.
like it.
Yeah,
I like
let's
it.
go.
All
Hey,
right,
right
all
now I'm tend to liking a little bit more the fruity ones, fruity forward.
Yeah.
And that one is not as fruity, but I like it a lot. I'll give it a 7 as well because some
Yeah.
of my favorite coffees.
You want
goes
this
up to
back?
8, bro.
Thanks, brother.
Absolutely. And I like this one for a couple of reasons in here. This is a light roast, by the way.
Right.
So usually we bring medium roast in here. This is a light
Light
roast.
roast.
And it has notes of lemon sugar cookie, honeysuckle, and white grape. So if any of those things came to
Yeah.
like your palate in there, but it
White
doesn't
grape.
necessarily, it doesn't necessarily mean that the coffee has that taste in it, but it's what's going to remind you of. So it's just the notes on the coffee, but really good coffee. So if you guys want, the description of this coffee is going to be on the link below.
Taking
in
that
there.
home with me.
Oh, I got you.
Do you have a grinder?
You have a grinder?
got a grinder, bro. Heck yeah, I got a grinder.
There you go. So I got
There
you
you
some
go.
coffee.
Medium, what course? What level of grind?
Medium to fine.
It
Okay.
depends
Because
what
of-
you're gonna
because-
do.
how
If-
dark you want it, right?
Say what?
It depends how like thick or dark
It depends on the brewing method you're gonna use.
that as well.
But we'll talk
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, before you
Yeah.
leave, I'll
Okay.
hook you up with some good coffee, man.
All right, man.
All right.
If you do
Let's
a
do it.
French press, a little bit coursey. If you do a pour over,
Yeah.
more of a not too fine, but espresso, more of a
Yeah.
fine one. So
Yeah,
it's like
I got
we
you.
can talk a whole.
I can nerd out on
entire-
coffee, dude.
yeah. We'll get caught on
I've
it.
been looking forward to this.
There you
have
go.
This conversation.
But I'm looking forward to hear more about your story, man. This
Yeah.
has been pretty cool. I'm over there just listening to what y'all are saying. I'll definitely have more coffee for you if you want more coffee towards the end.
I'll
and
be over there.
let's keep it rolling. All righty.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you so
That's
much.
good, man.
There you go. I'll leave without. Now you're gonna have some proper stuff at
Look
home
at
when
you,
you drink
swag
coffee.
bag, baby. Yeah,
Swag
you guys are
bag.
the best.
There you
man.
go.
You ain't
So-
coming to the Rio
Thank you
Grande
so
empty-handed,
much.
man.
Look at you guys.
I know, man. So now I can't
Wow.
leave.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Hey guys, real quick before we continue. So if you want to learn a little bit more how to get started on investing in real estate today, please go to their website, multifamilyempire.com. And if you also want to learn how to do the best cup of coffee in your own home, we're going to teach you a lot of tips and tricks. Go to multifamilyempire.com/forward the Rio Grind. Let's get back to that interview. I had the awesome opportunity that, when I met you, dude, I remember I went one of your properties that you bought here, and it was on a bus tour, and you guys has just closed. I can't name which one of them, but it was here, somewhere in here, somewhere in Arlington, maybe Fort Worth. But anyway,
Hearst, I think.
Yeah, you're still active dude. You was like super buff guy at the time, the truly boots, the typical military guy, and you were talking about your deal, and it was like, it was super awesome, man. And at that time, I'm like, dude, I look up to you guys, man. So I had the opportunity of partnering up with you on a deal with the Riva, and it's being super awesome. I appreciate all the mentorship you guys gave me, man. So thank you for that.
You're welcome, brother.
But
thank you.
Let's rewind. And how'd you get started on the real estate, dude? Because on the military, and how'd you get started in real estate?
Yeah, man. How I got started in real estate, honestly, is I went to the Air Force Academy, and they basically brainwash you to believe that invest all your money in the stock market, right? So I did just that. When I got a chunk of change, cash, I put it all in the stock market. Literally went to zero overnight. It was like a $24,000 investment. I got this flyer in my mailbox saying, invested in this, you get like 110% return, blah, blah. So I put it in there and literally went to zero overnight. And I was distraught. That's when like some of one of the first light bulbs went on inside of me of like, dude, everything I've been taught is not working. It's not real. I went on a journey of just finding a better way to make my hard-earned cash work for me versus me work for it.
Yeah.
And that's when I started reading books about real estate. And I started sharing this with my family. And I got relocated from South Dakota down to Abilene, Texas, and literally was moving into my mother-in-law's house. We were staying there for a while our house was getting ready to close when we were going to buy it. And she's like, hey, there's this lady going through a divorce down the street. She needs to sell her house. I know you're looking to get into real estate. You should go ask if she wants to sell her house. And I'm walking into the house with like bags, and I literally just dropped the bags on the ground, and I jet down to this lady's house. And I go knock on her door. I introduced myself. I said, hey, my name's Iven. I heard you going, I didn't say I heard you going through a divorce. I was a little more polite about that, but I heard
you selling your house.
I heard you selling your house, She's like, yeah, you want to buy it? I said, yeah, how much? And she said $33,000. I said, sold.
Shut up.
So I bought that house for $33,000. I had no idea what I was doing. I said, I'll buy it.
No due diligence, no nothing. I was just like,
not the smartest thing looking back, right? But I bought it for $33,000. Needed about $4,000 or $5,000 to fix up. Got a loan from the same company that lost my money. So that was kind of some good payback there. And rented for about $850 a month, made about $300 a month cash flow. And I was like, this is cool. What did I just do? And then I really started learning about the power of investing, how single family could pay you 5 different ways, these multiples that compound, principal pay down, cash flow, equity capture, things like that. I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. And I just became just overly excited, passionate, zealous about investing in real estate. It's all I can think about. When I'm obsessed, when I'm flying at 24,000 feet, staring off into the distance, getting ready to come back home and land.
Right here.
And I'm like, I want to buy all the houses I can find, So that was kind of my start in real estate investing.
So at that time, when you bought the house, then you bought more houses?
Oh, dude. So the next house, granted, I didn't do any of the right steps. I just bought it. The next house, I'll try to tell this story as quick as possible, right? But abandoned home next to where I lived. I've been moving to that house, abandoned home. My wife's pregnant with her first kid. And we're in the hospital. She has the baby. And she said, we had to jet out of the door to go to the hospital. She's like, go back home and get the bag that has all the stuff so I can stay here for a while, right? So I go back home to get the bag, and I'm walking out the front door, and I look to the left, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's this house. What's up with this house? And I knew you could find like the owners of these homes on the county roll. I
You're
looked
like,
them
let
up.
the baby wait.
Well, the baby's asleep right now. I got a few minutes, you know. My wife's asleep. I'm gonna go check out what's up with this house. Same thing. I find this guy's address where he lives. I walk down to his house, knocked on his door.
You knocked on his door, bro. That's legit.
And he opened up. It's this big burly man with his big like beer belly, hairy chest. What do you want? I was like, I think you own the house next door. What's up with that? He's like, you want to buy it? And I said, sure. Step inside. Now I'm in this dude's house. He walks me up into his attic, like this narrow stairway going up, one light, sits down on this desk, this table, and he's like, shows me a piece of paper. He said, see that number there? I was like, yeah. He said, if you want to buy it, you're going to have to give me that amount. I said, okay.
That was so weird, bro. Like,
kind of weird, but ballsy, right?
Yeah.
But stupid at the same time. That house tanked me. Didn't do due diligence, didn't do feasibility, and over-rehabbed and was upside down in this house, tune of $80,000. Now I'm in credit card debt, my first child, and stuck with this project. Took me 6 months. Like most projects, took longer to fix up and cost more to rehab. Now I was like, what in the hell did I just do? There's got to be a better, smarter way to do this. And that's when driving back from Dallas to Abilene, just bought some baby furniture at IKEA, turned on the AM radio, and I heard this radio show called Lifestyles of the Rich. No, Lifestyles of the Rich. Lifestyles Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Yeah, so it was Stephen Davis and Del Walmsley. And they started talking about mentorship and education. And I learned that there was a weekend class that they give here in Dallas. So I went up to the weekend class, and they gave a 2-day event. First day was single family, second day was multifamily. And that's when the light bulbs really started going on. I was like, oh my gosh, there's this thing called feasibility, due diligence, comp steady, all these things. And I really started drilling down and reverse engineering where I went wrong and set up a game plan to go back out and do it again, but do it correctly. Mm-hmm. And that's when I really started getting super serious about this business of real estate investing after making all those mistakes.
Right. Dude, that's awesome, by the way, dude. Like, and that's our typical things that we followed through sometimes, the DIY projects.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even at any type of project you can do, it can turn into something. You can spend the time and learn it, and you learn from your mistakes. If you could just hire somebody or go through a mentor or somebody that will teach you the steps.
Yeah.
I say this a lot. For example, if you go to a city to visit in another country, imagine if you don't know anywhere, just trying to figure it out as you go, versus if you go with the map. Hey, go to this restaurant. Yeah. Go to this street. Don't go to this neighborhood or whatever. So definitely, man. And the real estate today is like, where we at, we're already been through a bunch of stuff, like, but what I think what took us to the next level is the mentorship. So talk how you got to how many houses you had when you turned the key to the apartments.
Yeah, from single family apartments, started over, went back in the game, everything changed. It was an incredible opportunity to go from having nothing to then building up a portfolio of about 30 homes. And I did that by getting my real estate license, selling houses during my lunch break and after work. I sold 99 houses in 2 years. Wow. I put all that money back in single family. I was underwriting a deal in early of 2016, a single family deal, and it wasn't working anymore. There's got to be a better way. And I attended this mentorship class years earlier than that. And I always wanted to be an apartment investor. And this is really what I was thinking about while I was in the military. I was like, this is what I'm going to do when I retire. This is what I'm going to do when I retire. I want to do this. And the time was then. I was like, now's the time to make that transition. And we went all into multifamily investing. My business partner, Tariq Sitar, and I, we started Anthem Capital 7 years ago and joined a mentorship program then, and just went all in and started chasing that and never looked back. Eventually sold all my houses, got canceled everything I was doing prior to that, and put everything I had into the multifamily business, and taken all of my military experience, all my single family operational experience to build Anthem Capital to what it is today. And it's been an incredible life-changing experience that has given me so much, taught me so much, but something that I truly want to give back to as well. that I'm very passionate about, and still see a very bright future in this industry overall.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's awesome, dude. And so talk to me about a little bit about Anthem Capital now. What do you guys do? What kind of asset classes you guys look for nowadays, your criteria? And
Yeah,
a little bit
Anthem
about that.
Capital, we're a multifamily value add investment company. We've held over 3,000 doors, Class C, Class B, and we're transitioning more to Class B now. We are mostly in the major metropolitan areas. We started out Oklahoma, smaller market, and moved over to mainly Dallas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City. Two of us, Tariq Satar handles acquisitions, dispositions. I take care of everything in between on the operational side. And we actually have a third partner, Dan Cosgrove, who manages all of our marketing side of things as well.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Right on, dude. Now talk to me about the Ninja Warrior stuff.
Ninja Warrior, man. Yeah. Yeah, you know, like I see things from an operational perspective, right? I lived in the military for 20 years. I know what it takes to produce a desired result. And it's people and processes. And I applied a lot of that mentality into my operation in owning and operating apartments. But, you know, first of all, ninjas, dude, like ninjas, one, are cool as hell, right? Like they're cool.
Yeah,
and like they're very strategic, very disciplined, very methodical. They know what they're going to do before they go in, very knowledgeable. But they're lethal. Like you could be small and lethal, and they get in, they mess stuff up, and then they get out, you know? So I was like, I kind of like that.
I like that. That's
it's just kind of like,
you know, it's funny when you hear about it, but when you hear from the perspective, it's like just people sometimes ask about our logo. What does it mean? Like hearing that they're lethal, they're small but mighty and lethal. That's badass.
Yeah, man. You know, but it's like, so there's like, I was like, we need a framework. You know, there's a lot of education that teaches you how to acquire a deal.
Correct.
But once you get the deal, what do, right? It's kind of like my high school prom. Like my coach is always giving me a hard time, football coach. You're never going to get a date. You're never going to get a date. And I was like, I'm going to prove to him I'm going to get a date. And I freaking got a date. And then I got to the prom. I didn't know what to do after that. I got the deal. I won the deal, but I was like,
got the deal, the contract.
I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan to take care of the date once I get to the dance, right? So it's like that in this apartment industry that we're in.
Yeah.
Once you won the date, won the deal, what do you do after that? So I was like, we need help in this. And I see these challenges over and over again. I was like, let's develop a framework to help people how to do this.
Yeah.
Right. And so I developed a framework called the Ninja Operating System. It's team, tools, tactics, and roadmap. And just to break that down a little bit, you know, it all starts with team. Just like working with the team members in the military, working with team members in the apartment. If you have the best team, it overcomes a lot of these challenges that we face and a lot of these gaps. Yeah. Like I'll do whatever it takes kind of attitude and mentality to get it done. And then you put in a system, a process to take care of that gap. Then you have tools, just like you have a brain surgeon has different tools, a heart surgeon has different tools. Same in the apartment industry. Single family tools are not the same as multifamily tools.
Absolutely.
You need tools. And then you need tactics. Tactics are like processes. And you need to be able to break down every single step into a process that people can systemize and follow in an orderly fashion. And then last is roadmap. So like you buy this property, how do you navigate from point A to point B? The way to illustrate this, say you have the Ninja bus line company and your job is to get passengers from New York City to LA. And you want to go the most direct route. But most likely there's going to be roadblocks, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be detours that you have to make along the way. But you want to make sure your passengers stay on that bus the entire time. Kind of like tenants to stay in an apartment the entire time. But you set on your journey with the end in mind, which is get to LA in the most efficient manner possible. But when those challenges come your way, how do you navigate through that? How do you overcome those challenges? And wouldn't you like to have a framework to be able to do that? Right? And the framework would be inside of this roadmap is first you start with the end goal, which is in our case, meet or exceed the projected investor returns. That is our mandate. That is our end goal. If we're not doing that, we're not in business, right? And then it's collaborate. You got to get your team to collaborate. and work together. And then it's roadblocks. You got to be able to identify roadblocks before they happen. You got to be able to see into the future. A lot of what we do as operators, you get so bogged down in the minutia and weeds of things, and you start to lose sight of what's going on in the bigger picture. You poke your head up, you look around like, oh my gosh, interest rates are rising. Oh my gosh, COVID is happening. Oh my gosh, an ice storm just took out my property. Like, you got to be able to have enough foresight and look into the future and see those problems brewing and take your asset where it is today, or maybe change your strategy a little bit to be able to go around those roadblocks while keeping your tenants on the property or passengers on that bus. And then you got to be able to execute. Once you push play, you execute and you go on your way, and then you got to track the data. So you're constantly analyzing, tracking. You make an input, analyze, and see. Input, analyze, and see. And that way you are then guiding, leading your team in the most efficient manner to be able to accomplish that end goal, which is meet or exceed the projected best returns. So that's a little bit about what we do in the Apartment Ninja Warrior community. And that's the last thing that I'm really passionate about is all of us operators are going through the same challenges. We're experiencing the same things. And we're trying to overcome the same. Why not come together as a community and not have a closed lip about it, but be open about it and share our challenges with one another? We're only going to grow. We're only going to gain from it. And I want to see this industry go to the next level where we're not making the same common mistakes over and over again.
100%.
And we can do that and still be competitors because we'll only benefit from that. Think about that, where we're now all operating at a higher level, much like a ninja or elite
the whole
military
industry
force.
will benefit.
We will benefit from it. So I want to create a community of people where we're all sharing our challenges, coming to the table, being an open book about it, and then say, this is the solution. This is what we did to fix it. This is what we did to fix it.
Right.
That's how you grow. That's how you grow as a team, as a community overall. And that's how we improve overall. And then that's how we can take this industry to the whole next level. And that's really what I'm passionate about in the Apartment Ninja Warrior community.
Dude, and you got it all. Like, going back to just the story you shared today, you got it from your mom, from the hospitality or being nice, a person, the discipline from the military, the mistakes and taking action that you took by buying real estate, and now be able to give back to the community in that fashion way of a ninja, which that's what you became. It's fucking awesome, dude. And how can people participate on this initiative of yours, man?
Absolutely, man. Check me out on Facebook. I have a Facebook group called Apartment Ninja Warriors. Connect with me there, and I'll share a lot of the same tips, tools, and tactics and the roadmap that I'm taking my properties on and then I'll share the results and the success stories. You get to see firsthand of what is happening with our properties applying this framework.
Yeah, I am in that group, and it's super awesome. Ivan posts a lot of stuff, a lot of insights, a lot of good things, and clicking the link down here what the video is, man, so you can learn more about Ivan and this initiative. But Ivan, thank you so much for sharing your story, man. But before you go, bro, we're gonna do the audience would like to know a little bit about you. So that is the Spinning the Beans with Ivan. Let's go. What is that face, bro? You scared?
I don't know what's going on right now.
You saw the lights do me down. It's like the music should be like.
I don't know if you prepared me for this part.
Yep. All right. F-22 or MiG-23?
Bro, F-22, man.
Let's go.
Come on, dude.
Samurai or a ninja?
Oh, that's a good question. Ninjas are by themselves. Samurais just go in groups.
Oh.
Let's be ninjas.
Expert about ninja. The painful truth or the comforting lie?
Painful truth. Get it over early and move on.
Parking ticket. I just came from New York, man. Parking ticket.
Parking ticket.
Or speeding ticket.
Parking ticket or speeding ticket. Gotten both.
I know.
Man, speeding ticket, but in a safe way.
Speeding ticket. There
you know what I'm saying? Watch out for other people.
Test the waters or dive deep in the end?
I'll I think I shared that through my stories, man. Just dive in, bro. Go for it.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
So, would you rather be a passenger or a driver?
Come on, man. Front of the bus, baby. Be the driver.
Let's go. Of course, like, you know, if you're sitting on the chair, and we have usually drivers. Yamaha or Fender?
Oh, guitar stuff.
Yeah.
Fender, man. Yeah. The U.S. Fender. One made in the U.S. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
That completes the Speed of the Beast with Ivan. Let's go.
Love it.
Thanks so much for the friendship, dude. Thank you for being on the show. Like, you're awesome. Like I said, I looked up to you guys, and I'll be able to partner with you guys, and, you know, you guys actually taught us a lot. You know, Dalia and I, so super grateful. Thanks for being part of this community, dude. But Ivan, before we go, if you can say something for yourself, if you look yourself in the mirror now, if you talk to that camera, what would you tell your younger self? Give it some advice.
Younger self.
So you, Mr. Little Ivan.
Yeah, that's good, man.
You're probably not a ninja yet. He was
You're a baby ninja right now.
Yeah, what I would say to myself is that you got to have absolute clarity and know yourself to the core. And there's going to be gaps, and you have to be able to face those gaps and then put in the work to overcome those gaps with visceral conviction. You can't be half in, half out. You got to be all in. And we all have those things we totter on kind of in life. But what if we learn to trust and let go and go all in on that thing and trust the process along the way, not knowing exactly how you're going to get there, and trust it's going to happen. Because looking back in my life, every goal that I set for myself was a little boy to be a pilot. It is to owning multifamily. It happened. Regardless of my background and where I came from, or if my parents had money or not, or education or not, it happened. And I wish now, knowing that, I would have set my sights even farther and set my goals even higher, and to be able to impact more people and do more things with it. And I learned that the way to get there was through that clarity in knowing oneself and committing to it with visceral conviction, and then knowing that it will happen. So moving forward today, I've now applied this knowledge and insight to have a dream, a desire to do even bigger and greater things that will impact even more people.
Amazing. And it's like this, right? We finish a goal, and it's like, man, what if I should do a higher goal?
Right.
You know? Thanks for sharing. And Ivan, thank you so much for being here one more time, dude. This is the real grind. Let's go.
And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching The Real Grind. Question, are you a ninja going solo, or a samurai going a bunch? You know, The Real Grind is also a source of great information. I didn't know about that. So again, remember, we're on Facebook, YouTube. If you want to listen to us, you're on your favorite podcast platforms. Give us a like on this video. This is going to help us a lot. Give us a follow on Instagram. We're everywhere. So we truly appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And as always, this is The Real Grind. Let's go.
Waking up to success. Now we're getting it started. This is the real grind. Everything you've been wanting, building an empire, no question. Talking about real estate, investing, making the millions, no stopping. While we sip on gourmet coffee. The real grind. This is the real grind. Let's go.